Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my monthly Friday Folds class. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds for everyone to join me today. I am so sorry, I was supposed to be on at 10 a.m. this morning and I got really busy getting ready for my Facebook Live tonight. And the time totally went by me. So today I'm doing my Friday Folds class, but I wanted to show you the new catalogs that will debut on January 3rd. We've got the sale-a-bration catalog and the mini catalog. And I'm going to actually be using a stamp set today from the mini catalog. And I am also going to be featuring day number 2 of my sale-a-bration sneak peeks tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So hello everyone, I can see you all coming on. Again, I'm sorry that I missed my 10 o'clock class that I was supposed to be on an hour ago. Just got sidetracked. So today I am going to be showing you how to create this cute little card using some of the products from the new catalogs. Now this is, I'm calling this, it's a fancy fold, but I'm calling it a flap fold because there's a flap on the side and then it opens this way to reveal the inside. So let me show you the new products I'm using today. I'm using the Peaceful Poppies sequins. Now these sequins are beautiful. They're more of the darker colored. And whoops, I just made a mess. And then you've got some white and some gold mixed in there also. So let me put these aside before I get them scattered everywhere. I'm also using 3 stamp sets. The lovely Lily Pad, which is a sale-a-bration stamp set you can earn for free starting January 3rd. The Timeless Tulips. All I'm using on this one is the Get Well Soon sentiment, but this is a stamp set that will be in the mini catalog with a coordinating tulip punch. And then I'm using this Peaceful Moment stamp set. And I'm using the sentiment from that one for the inside, thinking of you with all my heart. Now, let's see. Here are my layers. This is Pretty Peacock, 5.5 by 7 inches. And you're still going to score at 4 1/4 like you do on a normal card. It's just going to give you a shorter front. So you can see here how the front, that way the designer paper peeks out. I've got Whisper White for the inside, 4 inches by 5 1/4. Some designer paper, I'm gonna show this packet here in a minute. Designer paper for the front flap. This measures 2.5 by 5 1/4. And then the reverse side, same pattern, reverse side, is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. I've got some scrap thick Whisper White for stamping. And then I've gone ahead and cut out with the stitched labels, nested labels dies. I've got Whisper White and I've got the Pretty Peacock. Now these, I'll give you the length on these if you want to copy this card. This one is 4 5/8. Oh, wait a minute. Let me measure the cardstock, not the die. So the die is cut to 4 3/8 on the Pretty Peacock. And then we've got 3 7/8 on the Whisper White. So let me go ahead and assemble. Oh, before I get going, yes, I wanted to show you this pretty paper. So this is designer paper that is a sampler of most of the designer paper packages in the mini catalog. It's just a little sampler of each packet. And then if I flip it over, you've got the colored versions. Now this is going to be available when someone joins the Stampin' Up family. You're going to receive this packet of paper along with our cute little mini trimmer. Look how cute this is. I'm actually going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow night to show you some tips on using the trimmer. And you're also going to be able to pick any stamp set from any of our catalogs to add in as a free bundle. So this is a 3-piece bundle when you join the Stampin' Up family for $99 and you pick $125 worth of products. So I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow night. Now the ink pads I'm using are Grapefruit Grove, Flirty Flamingo, Shaded Spruce, and Gorgeous Grape. So let me go ahead and glue the smaller designer paper to the edge of the Whisper White layer. That's going to go on the inside. So I'm going to do the inside first. As you can see, all I did was glue the paper and then add the sentiment. I'm going to bring in the Gorgeous Grape. And then Thinking of You with All My Heart. So that goes on the inside. I am totally out of Thinking of You and Get Well cards, so you're probably going to be seeing me make a lot of those in the next couple weeks. I need to replenish my stash. Now that's going to go right on the inside. I'm actually going to lift this up. I don't want to glue this part down just yet because I need to glue the flap down. So let's work on the flap. And what I did with the flap, I'm just going to bring in my scoring tool. But first I want to stamp my Get Well so I'll know where to score. I just kind of eyeballed this when I did it. So the Get Well is going to go about here. And then I'm going to set this aside. And let me get a measurement for you in case you want to copy the same exact measurement. This is at 2.5 is where I scored this. So I'm going to score at 2.5. Oh yeah, make sure that's going to fit. I did that wrong. You know what I did? I measured from the end. I need to measure from... So I'm going to start at 2 and go 1, 2.5. I measured from the wrong end. So let me see if I can press this back in place. It's going to be covered anyway. So it's 2.5 from this point, not this point. I'm going to fold this over. And then I'm going to tuck this in. Make sure that the fold is even with the card edge, okay? So we'll go ahead and add some glue there. Press that in place, and I've already got glue on here. So there's your flap fold. Next is we're gonna finish this, but I also need to cut this when I have it glued in place. So let's go ahead and create our little scenery. I did forget to bring in the Balmy Blue ink also for the water. I'm going to use an aqua painter and just grab some water. I'm just going to swish that back and forth. Very simple. Let that dry. Now we're going to do some stamping and die cutting. So I'm going to bring my thick Whisper White, only because I'm going to be wetting this. I'm using the thick so it won't warp too much. We're going to do the lily pad in Gorgeous Grape. Only because in the stamping world you can use any color you want. I'm going to use the ink lines and my aqua painter just to add a little bit of color. Keep this subtle. Next up is Shaded Spruce. We're going to do the same thing. Just use the ink lines. You can see how quickly that colors by using just the ink lines. The small flower image is going to be with Flirty Flamingo. Now with this one, I wanted to add a little bit more color. So I'm adding in the Grapefruit Grove along with the ink lines. Let me just open this up. I didn't need to close it. So I'm going to pick up some Grapefruit Grove. And as I add that Grapefruit Grove, it's actually adding into the Flirty Flamingo lines also. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do for that. Now I'm going to bring the Big Shot in. Let me grab my dies. So we need the flower, the little leaf, and the lily pad. So let me move this aside. We're going to do a little bit of cutting. Now let me go ahead and add my lily pad. I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape to hold that one in place. And then we've got the little stem with a couple leaves on it and the flower. Now let's see if I can cut all three at the same time. And what I did, I probably should try to show you a close-up. I added some clear Wink of Stella. I'm hoping you can see the shimmer and shine. So I colored all three of these with my clear Wink of Stella. And this one, whoops, this one is almost empty. Let me see if I can just spread that. This one's really gonna sparkle. I ended up doing a really big dot of it. I pressed a little too hard, but it really shimmers. So now what we need to do is, let me bring my card back in before I glue these in place. I want to actually glue this down to the flap, and you can see it's going to cover my little boo-boo that I did. And then I'm just going to bring in my paper snips and snip that. So there's my flap. You can see how easy the flap is to add. Now let's go ahead and add the second piece of designer paper. You guys are gonna love this set. It's so pretty and so neat to work with. I've done a lot of cards with this set. I'm actually gonna have a Facebook Live to make 3 more cards using this set. Now, let me see. I need to bring in some stamping dimensionals. I think I went a little overboard on my Wink of Stella. Now, this is still wet. It's not sticking. Let me just bring in my heat tool just to heat this up. It's still a little wet. Okay, let's see if I can get my dimensionals to stick now. There we go. Normally I would let this sit for a little bit. It's still not sticking. Okay, let me just glue this in place this way, and then I'll add the dimensional. As it dries, this will get better. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the leaf portion. And that's going to go on the lily pad. And then, oh, you guys should see the sparkle. I even have some all over my fingers. Look at that. I'm going to be blinging in style today. Okay, there's my little flower. And then all I have left to do is to add some of the sequins. I'm actually going to use my glue dots. Now, what's really neat about these sequins, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see, let me just bring one up if I can grab it. These are actually in the shape of a flower. It goes with the poppy bundle, and they're actually in the shape of flowers. They're really neat. Okay, I'm going to add one down here. Let me just pick another color. Let me see. Let's do, I don't have enough colors to pick from. Let's do the dark green. Nope, I didn't add the glue dot on that one. Okay, there's 2 of the sequins. Now I just need to add 3 more in the background. So let's add one right there. This one is like a little shiny metallic green, like old olive. It looks more like old olive to me, but it shimmers. And let's see what else. We'll do another pretty peacock to go with the paper. There we go. So there's my flap card for today, my card fold. And I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. with, or 7:30 p.m. Eastern time with my sale-a-bration sneak peek number 2. I have 3 projects for you. And you know what? I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what I'm using. So just to get a little bit of excitement. I'm going to be using the Little Ladybug stamp set, which is going to be a hostess set you can earn for free during sale-a-bration. So join me tonight. I will be making 3 cards with you. And thanks so much for joining in, even though I was an hour late. So sorry about that. I'm glad you're here, and I will see you tonight. Bye-bye, everyone.